Can you see me?
Not yet.
Don't worry.
Tonight I am joined by Mark Heely. I would call him Mark Henry. It's really bad of me. It's Mark Heely. And Mark, again, was one of the people that came to Bongo Racing at the very, very beginning as a guy who had experience. And it was almost like you guys are just little guys, and you still know what you're doing. But he helped steer us in the right way. So, Mark, your name is Mark. Where are you from? Because that's complicated.
Do you want to know where I live now?
Yeah.
Where I come from?
Yeah.
Right, I live in southwestern France.
Okay.
In the land of Laurent.
Wow.
And, right, I'm about an hour and a half northeast of Bordeaux, to give you an example. And the nearest airport is Limoges, which has Ryanair going to it.
And
to give you some idea.
Unlike Laurent or Larry, because I never pronounce his name correctly, so it's Larry now for me. You do not have a French accent, so
yes, I can know.
So you are La Roast Beef. So where are you from originally? Then
I was born in Wellington, which is now Telford, which is part of Shropshire, which is next to Staffordshire.
Yeah, wow. And what age are you, Mark?
What do I do?
No, what age are you?
Pardon?
What age are you?
Oh, the question you like.
Yeah.
I've been 61 for 11 months.
It's the running joke. It's the running joke.
No.
Okay, so look, tell me. I mean, how did you end up there? I mean, Telford to where you are.
Right. Well, after I was born, obviously we moved when I was 5 because I went into a primary school. I walked round as you do, and then in August we'd already moved house to the town where I lived till I came here to France. And so, the story of why I came to live in France is because my brother died about 2 weeks with a motorbike accident after my sister got married in 1992.
Wow.
And so my parents said, right, we'll take early retirement, not in the same style as yours. And they said, right, we looked at programs living in France. And basically, we'd never been to France. We moved, and they sadly died nearly 2 years ago, both of them. And I'm still here, and I live with a French lady. So
okay, so when they decided, they watched some programs. So
people did.
Yeah. What was your one that used to do all the travel programs? What was her name? She went everywhere.
Oh yeah. Oh, you mean yes? Yeah. It's a bit roundish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go out to France first? Was there like an exploratory, like a holiday, or did you just decide we're going to France?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
that's the way we did it back then. People made decisions.
Yeah,
like my uncle moved out to Australia, and he'd never been in Australia. I don't think he'd ever been in a plane, let alone anything. I mean, I was very, very young then. You were already up and going and in long trousers, and I was in short trousers at that point, I'm sure. Okay, so where you've really held on to the accent, because that's quite a long time you've been there now. Where is home in your head now? If France and England are playing football or rugby, who do you cheer for, Mark?
Occasionally France, but mostly England. It's weird because I've spent more than half my life here, and the last time I went back to Britain for more than a day was in 2004.
Wow.
20 years ago.
Holy crap. And do the locals, the locals that know you see you as the French guy with a funny accent, but the French people that you would meet that don't know you, do they think you're some tourist or oh, this guy speaks really good French, but he has this funny accent, or, are you here on holiday? Do you still get that no time? No?
Yeah. No, yes and no. Yes and no, because I have French clients for my work, and also obviously all kinds from Irish, English, Australians, Danish. I'm a United Nations.
He's a blue vest, man, blue helmet.
Yeah.
And what do you do? What do you do for a living?
I am a gardener.
A Chelsea gardener. Very good.
No. It's all grass cutting and things like that over in France.
Oh,
should we say field cutting?
Field cutting, big, because you've got some photographs of some big machinery that you're working on. And it's that big grass cutters. So you're talking big properties, big lawns. Then.
Yeah.
And how much does it cost to cut a lawn these days? I'll ask you why. So I have quite a big property here, and I have a petrol. I have a few, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, I was going to buy a ride-on, right? And that would have been the right thing to do. And I had a Husqvarna, a big petrol thing. And then I looked at the price to buy a good ride-on lawnmower. And there was a friend of ours was setting up a grass-cutting business. And he was going to charge me, I don't know, 20 quid a cut or something like that. And I remember 25 quid a cut 5 years ago. And I went, yeah, I've done the math. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of cuts. You've done it every 2 weeks, 25 quid. That's spot on. Knock yourself out. Because it takes me with the pedal mower without strimming about 2 hours to do just the cut. There's a lot of grass. But as the years went on, and last year it turned into 55 quid a cut. I was going, that's getting a bit steep now. And I thought, no, I'll do it myself. So I have teenagers. They do a bad job, and this year I've started doing it myself again. Because it's got extremely expensive to do it. So that's gardening. That's everything has went up. The cost of petrol, the cost of getting rid of stuff, moving stuff around.
Right.
So for us, a small garden is what, €50, €40, and then upwards.
I don't know how big is your property in size in square meters.
No, it's 7 acres in total. 7 acres in total, but the house property is on about half an acre, and there's about a quarter of an acre of garden of grass. So it's quite a chunk.
Quarter of an acre.
Yeah, it's big.
I'll tell you how much I've got around my house. Right.
Yeah,
I have got 1.5 hectares, which is nearly 4 acres. It takes 4 hours.
Yeah, about 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just interesting. It's interesting.
No. If you ask Laurent the same question, right? France, by law, you have to have certain sized gardens, even when you've got a bungalow, a modern day bungalow. You have up to 1,000 square meters, or most gardens are 3,000 square meters, which is over an acre.
Which separates the houses up nicely as well, then, I suppose, in the countryside. Yeah, that's good. And is that what you've always done? Is that gardening?
No. I started this. My granddad was a farm worker. My dad did a little bit when he was younger. But then when my granddad retired in Shropshire, he used to look after some, posh person's roses and their garden and veg garden and things like that. And basically, every one of my family, well, most of us, like gardening. So it's a natural thing to do. And basically, it's a job you can learn on the hoof. You do not need training. You're either interested or not.
Yeah, this is the grafting. Yeah, well, I know that the young chap is a good business now, but he's severely struggling to get people to help him or young guys to come on board. And I think he's got 80 or 90 lawns that he has to do every month or something like that. It's absolutely crazy now, and a couple of church contracts for graveyards and that sort of thing. And it's just anyways, I just found it interesting that everybody does something a bit different.
Yeah. No. It's basically in France. Now today it'd be even worse because obviously if you don't speak French right to a level, you're not going to get a job. And basically, most people who come here have to be self-employed.
Okay,
there isn't. It's not a choice. It's basically an obvious choice because that's how it works.
And it works.
Yeah. For some people, see, I'll never be rich, and that's not the idea. But people think you can go to another country unless you're in a company that's already in that country and you're employed by them. You'll never have the same wages as you did before. It's nearly impossible unless you're 100%, au fait with their language. You know what I mean? You've got to be perfect because just won't get it. Or speaking an English-speaking, cultural business, which is normally American or big, massive.
Yeah. My brother-in-law worked for Michelin, and they had a big plant here in Ballymena, and he was a plant manager. And was it Villefranche or some? I don't know. They had a big plant out there in France as well. That he would go back and forth to quite often, and they wanted to. I think he was a smidgen away from moving there with the whole family, and then they decided not to, and woulda, coulda, shoulda, and all that. Sorry,
no, it's okay.
So is it? Hey, do you have family? I mean, you live with a lovely French lady. Do you have any kids or anything? Any other extended?
No. She has one lad.
Okay.
He's now gone away from home, and he's just in his early 20s. But no, I've never had any children. It's a bit of a regret, but
Yeah.
Turn the clock back.
I'll send you some.
No.
Yeah, you don't really mean it, do you? You don't mean it at all. So we know you tonight, gardening business. This is what you do.
Yeah.
We know you as a sim racer. You know that there's the English guy that's ended up in France. Is there anything else weird and wonderful you do? Are you a famous karaoke singer? Is there any other little things that you get up to? This is a simple life.
No, not really. No. I go on. Well, my French partner, when we go on holiday, she makes us do some weird and wonderful things that you would think were a bit strange at our age.
Well, like?
Going down, how can we say this? Last year in the Aveyron, which is Department 12, we went down a stream with rocks and down rock faces, sliding on your backside.
Bouldering or something. Yeah, we would call it,
I think in the Pyrenees, we did paragliding.
Oh, superb.
And another thing is we went down a Pyrenean hillside, me and her son and a friend, that's Marvin, and on a BMX bike, following an instructor. We do all kinds of crazy things.
You know what? Age is just a number. I hope to never stop. And I think the moment you stop being active and doing stuff, that's when it's all over. Really, it's. I think back to my dad. I'm 55 now. My dad, my dad was an old man when I was 12 years old. He had stopped. He would read the paper, he would fall asleep, and that would be it. And he was very interested in motorbike racing. He was a flag marshal, chief marshal. That was his thing. And then with me with the motocross stuff when I was younger as well. We're a lot older now than I think our parents ever were. It was we get up to an awful lot more stuff now than we did. I mean, put it this way: my dad would never be doing what we're doing. As far as sim racing is concerned,
neither. If he's still here, he would do this.
No.
But there is one thing that I've done, and that is 5 or 6 motorcycle races in 1986.
Oh wow! What on tracks or roads?
Yeah. Donington Park, Mallory Park, Darley Moor, which is an old airfield in Derbyshire, going towards Donington. And it lasted until I dislocated my shoulder. And that was it.
What were you riding? What type of bike?
An RD250LC.
An RD250LC with a big radiator. Big radiator. Very good. Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. No. Well, my career finished at 19. I raced from I was 5 until I was 19. And I've never had a road bike, not allowed one. My wife won't not let me get one because she fears that the red mist would come down on me and I would wrap myself around a tree. And I fear that although I can guarantee her that would never happen, if I would say that the red mist would come down at some stage and I would have to open it up and I mean, I'm in the land of Northern Ireland with the Ulster Grand Prix circuit, the Northwest 200, the fastest road race in the world. You know, it's only half an hour away from me in just a few weeks' time, actually. So you couldn't stop yourself going around those tracks. Just get into the open road, you just couldn't. Anyway, sim racing. How did it all start? Were you a gamer, or did you go to sim racing straight away?
Right. So, the first game really I played was Colin McRae 2 rally game.
Don't cut.
With my Microsoft Sidewinder non-force feedback wheel that is still in this pedal to this day.
Keep that.
Pedals.
Keep that.
Because it used to be underneath my office sort of thing. Then I played Grand Prix 2.
Oh, Jeff France. Brilliant. Me too.
007 race, Simbin sort of things, the Swedish firm at the time. And then I stopped. And then I restarted when COVID started because I fell ill with erysipelas. And so I couldn't work for, say, 2 odd weeks.
Erysipelas.
COVID as well. And so I started watching videos.
Okay.
And I fell on Jardier.
As we all do. He's an entry drug, isn't he?
Yeah. And basically, I started watching everything like that because I've obviously got nothing to do. So that's when I dragged out the Sidewinder, found out that wouldn't work, and then bought a Fanatec. That swear word, Fanatec.
Okay.
But then it was, obviously 2020, 21, it's a lot better than today.
Yeah.
And basically, I just, first of all, I think I had Assetto Corsa. Didn't play that much. Then I bought Assetto Corsa Competizone, and then just messed about on my own for quite a bit, like 4 to 5 months. And then I found, after thingy, public lobbies, LFM of the day.
Yeah, lovely. Probably a Monza crash. Monza crash. Monza Spa crash.
First turn, oh dear. That was the end of the race, right? And basically then I found, when I race on a Tuesday, SRXP, that's the first one. I started that in November 2021.
Okay. And did you just sort of pop in there? You'd seen them on YouTube or that sort of thing? And
I've seen them on a man like Laurent, who does liveries, he still does liveries, but he started up a YouTube channel called Boonatics.
Okay.
And he was racing on the SRXP, and somehow that registered with me.
Okay.
Because obviously groups were really hard to find.
Right.
And so I started there. I've raced with some French guys, believe it or not, in a few races at the start as well. That's Go Sim Racing. There's a man who joined today who I raced against, Mr. Cormac Quinn. But they the times wouldn't let me race the 2 races in one night. I used to do 2 races in one night. So I finished it like after 12 o'clock. A bit like bonk.
Yeah. It's that balancing act,
Yeah, I know. I agree with that. And basically I've raced, I think I added it up, with endurance and everything, I've done over 500 races.
Not me. Yeah. I'm up there with you. In one thing or another.
I know you are, yeah. But you do 6 a day. I remember I do normally 1 or 2 a night, that's it.
Yeah, so it's funny. Today was strange because I only done 3 today, but 2 of them were epic and one of them was short and weird because when you were doing those LFM 25-minute sprints, you fit 6 in. But the 1 hour at Nordschleife is it takes 2 hours. It's an hour and 3/4 by the time it starts quali. Sitting around for 20 minutes while each of the sessions are finished, and it's 2 hours, and then you're straight into the next one. It's a whole new thing for me. You're sitting in your rig right now.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your rig a bit because you're sitting in a. Is this a Peugeot? Is it a Peugeot?
Citroen seat.
A Citroen. I always want to say. So it's a real.
Yeah.
It's a real car seat. Did you build your rig then as well? Is it you bought? What was it?
Yeah. It comes from Germany. Motor disc, right? So if I
okay, great.
Yeah.
So
it's I've got a piece of Simucube, by the way.
Okay.
It's the thing that holds my Sim Magic.
Yeah. The silver bar. The silver.
Yeah. So basically, it's just, if you can see the right. So basically, it's just the same as most people's rigs, but basically you buy it in bits. You've made it yourself. There's bits that when I had the Fanatec on, a big piece of 160 profile, the big out there, right? Because obviously I made the Simucube fit all the bits that I'd already got. I haven't bought any more bits, what I mean. And basically, luckily, the man I bought the sprints off, a French guy, he bought them but never used them.
Mm-hmm.
And he had bought the plate. So my plate has now got a nice shiny bit where the brake is.
And it's funny, when you talk about, I've mentioned this before, some folk, and during COVID, lots of people spent lots and lots of money. And they built all these fantastic rigs and then realised it really wasn't for them, or they're never going to use it enough. So there's been a glut of really good second-hand kit. I was there for quite a while. It's maybe starting to dry up a bit now, but I mean there has been really, really good kit to pick up, and it's a way to start. You don't have to spend 10 grand or 15 and 20,000 pounds to get up and go it. A good second-hand wheel, a rig either built or there's some decent cheap rigs out there now. But a good set of pedals, a good wheel, and a steady platform, and that's it. That's the main thing that you need. Sorry, what's the wheel you have there? You're using that's the Asher. Oh
no, it's a Simumagic GT4. It's an old wheel.
But it turns. You seem to be able to turn it. Do you wear gloves when you're driving?
No. Because this has got rubber grips.
Well, so does mine.
Make you sweat. It makes you sweat.
Yeah, but you've got big man hands for all that gardening work. I've got soft hands. I'm a sales guy, so I have soft hands. I have calluses whatsoever. I don't know at all.
That's my hands.
Yeah, that's good tough man. Those are hard working man. Okay. So you've joined some leagues, you're racing there, and at the beginning, did you have an aptitude for, when you started with ACC, did you sort of get it straight away, or was there a lot of study, or a lot of...
First car I drove was a 488 Ferrari.
Yeah.
Loads of noise, you think you're going fast, you see the lap time. And the first race was on Imola when that came out in the November, and basically, it's like a practice race. And it was in between seasons, and wow, I'm in the middle of the grid, 142 lap times. Wow, what I thought, I'd be way at the back, and so, wow, this is not too bad. And basically, I'm either good or really bad. Like last night, I was really bad.
I was going to ask you, how would you describe your driving style? I came up a bit in the chat today because the old Formula One thing came up about who's one of the best drivers and all of that, and they were talking about Roger is a massive Max Verstappen fan, and I respect him as a driver, absolutely fantastic. And then as we talk about Lewis Hamilton and even Michael Schumacher at the time when things were going really well for them, it was great. But with Lewis Hamilton, if he was had an off day or a bad day, it went really badly. It was either one or t'other. Yeah. But even in the last year, you've not. It's wrong to say that. Settled. You have more better races now than blowouts. Even us,
because that's knowledge. It's knowledge, and also compared with, I would say, most people in Bongo have never done the amount of race time that I've done.
Yeah.
From the start, the get-go, because they were 1 hour.
Yeah, we were all blown away. You were doing longer races. I mean, we were terrified of anything. I remember the first time we done a 45-minute race, and it was epic. And the little laugh came, because you were doing 90-minute races or 1 hour races all the time.
Yeah.
And we're only getting to that stage now, which is,
And right, and the thing, right, because I saw your stream from last night, and Nords, right, in wet for the level that we are is a no-no.
Yeah, it is.
Keeping the dry.
I agree. Well, I mean, the wet setting that I had was actually spot on for it. But I totally agree. Tomorrow night's race, if you're listening to this on Friday too late, tomorrow night's race will be dry. Because it's just going to be, it would be too much. It's too much. And people are already frightened of it. And it's going to be tough. And I mean, if you watched a lot of the first LFM 24-hour stuff over the weekend, hardly anybody got away scot-free. Yes, some of the top guys got away with it, but all of them had damage of some shape or form. But nearly every one of those teams, if there was a team of 3 and 4 guys, and Costanos from lovely Sim Racing, Jeff and TSC, all of those guys were in there. They all had a crash each or 2, or every, that all happened, and that's going to happen tomorrow night. And it's part of that learning thing. If you go out and try and race, so I've went the sideways here, but if you go out and try and race hard on Nordschleife for 90 minutes, you're going to crash. If you're going to do quali laps flat out as fast as you can all the time at Nordschleife, you're toast. There is no way. It can't be done. You can't. It maybe can be done, but you're super alien.
It can't, because if you look at my stream from last night, near the end of the 2 hours, right, I did 10 laps and the winner did 15. But the winner had already lapped me, Tristan Bullwinkle, and he was right in front of me. And I saw him, and he did this 2 days ago in practice one time, and he did nearly the same thing. And he went off, bang, bang, hits the barrier, and carried on. And he'd still got 7 odd seconds in front of me, because he's nearly, he's not at Jardé's level, but you know what I mean? He's way above my level.
Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? I mean, you get to a point and then you need to study and plateau and get going again. And I'm at that plateau stage, I think, now. I've came so far, but I think now, and it's improved a lot. My consistency's improved a lot, but I still make the odd stupid mistake and get myself into situations where I shouldn't. Into that the vortex of danger crap sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, at the beginning you were such a help, and we were blown away by your speed as well, how good you were at this. And it was that laugh that came out. Just honestly, Mark, it was like, holy crap, because there was yourself and Rog and Laurent and Leo at the time, and it was Andy that was around. Sadly, he's not racing with us. Julio will come back at some stage. And I mean, there was lots of guys, and Steve started to come in, and Dave, and we've all, that group of us. Now, Roger was at a good level, always was, but we've closed that gap with those. And when we're racing with you now, which was never possible. But a lot of the guys they've really applied themselves over the last year, and that's really helped. So, how did you come across Bongo Racing then?
By the same thing. Watching YouTube. Who's this funny, stupid, idiot guy? Why do I put myself through it? LFM, right? Basically, you're like an illness. You know what I mean? Just can't get away from it.
I'm not an illness.
Don't you know what I mean? Honest to God, you go, why? Okay, right. So then you kept on saying, right, you've got some servers, and that's what I thought. Right, I'll go.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have a look.
No, and you did, and I'm really glad you did, because you're very much part of that community now. That it's with me having you around, and it's nice. And it was funny because we never heard that laugh at the beginning. Very rarely, and then we started to hear the giggle the odd time. And that was brilliant, and the personality has really came through now, and it's brilliant. It is cool.
Look, see, there's only your Discord. When I race on Tuesday, I don't have to go in the chat, you see.
Mm-hmm.
I occasionally do, but I don't. Club 50, which is for all the guys, right? And they race all kinds of things on all different nights, but they don't have very many numbers. And, you go in the chat then. And they tell me to go away politely. You're too quick. There's got a few that are quick, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just,
Dan,
going to have a nice night out and a talk and whatever, and a little race in between. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I hope that we're, hopefully there's a bit of a difference there because there's so many nice little groups like that, and I think I'm breeding a group of guys that are very competitive. It's sometimes for our detriment, but that's
like that. Like that's Go Sim Racing, right? Which starts at a similar time, right? And it's been right, and they are really competitive as well. You know what I mean? Because they did the same thing.
Yeah.
But basically, I had to stop going to there because basically the races I couldn't do 2 at the same night, and they wouldn't budge. So I just go, sorry, I just can't make it. But but I've been, most places I've been competitive.
But you do a lot of racing. So how do you fit that in around? So you finish work in mid-afternoon or late afternoon? And
No. Sometimes I can come in at 7 o'clock and I've got a race at 7:45.
Okay. So 7, bite to eat, and down you go. But you don't race every single night, do you? Are you in the rig every day? No.
Tuesday was when I was racing the same night as Dara as well. So I did a Tuesday, like they do it AOR, I do mine. The Supercharged is on a Wednesday, and then Bongos is on a Thursday. And then I could have something like when we do an endurance, that's a Friday, end of season, and things like that. So sometimes it's easier to do it in winter than it is in the summer.
Of course.
It's obvious.
Of course. When it's nice out, and it's been frigging, it hasn't stopped raining here since October.
It's just old. Honest, what I said in my reply is the truth as well. It hasn't stopped raining since mid-October here.
Yeah. I mean, Judith has. Funny, when I was out here streaming today, and when I went into the house today, and Judith has the fire lit. She has the burning stove lit because that's how freaking cold it is, and it hasn't been on for a week or so because it was milder, but just nutty.
That's cool. Yeah.
Cars. You're a Ferrari. I don't think I've seen you in. I don't think so. Oh no, BMW. But Ferrari is your main steed. But the odd time you pop into a Beamer. Was there any particular reason for that, or is it just because it's the one that feels right?
Number one, because the Ferrari, the Beamer, right? When I look at how many hours I've driven it and how many laps, it's frightening. It's because the other league it clocks every laps, and like when you've got 5,000 laps in there, it's time to go bye.
Do you know what? And that's exactly the same with me. I'm actually pulling up the stats now here for that profile. I'm just on LFM, and that doesn't count. That doesn't count us. That doesn't count the stuff that we've been doing. So the BMW is, lappage. It's only nothing like you there, but this is just LFM, and this is only last season, which is 2,300 laps just in those 12 races. Plus, then you add up all the bongo stuff and all the practice and all the race stuff there, which is crazy. And that swamps my McLaren and the Mercedes and the Aston. I mean, the Ferrari is only now on 491 on LFM. But, I got very bored with that BMW towards the end of the season. And why I jumped to the Ferrari.
See, because I used to get setups from a guy who I raced with, which were good.
Okay.
And then the Ferrari came out, so I thought, I'll try this. So I've been back to the BMW, and I find I can drive it, but I have to warm the tyres up for at least 2 laps before I want to drive it how I drive it. Or else I just go off track. It's, I just can't drive it. But I will drive anything, as I did in Silverstone. The Lamborghini. I'd never driven it once in my life.
Just don't mention Silverstone. We don't.
No. I can mention my longest race with 2 young Germans, 10 hours of Suzuka, and that was 2 years ago.
Hell, how did that go?
We didn't finish last. You got to remember, I had 2 novices.
Okay.
Quite clever in their every day, but not clever driving.
Yeah, there's so many skills to this game. It's not just about going fast. It's about keeping your head when Mark Heely is coming up behind you, or you're right behind Mark, or and now as these longer races come in, it's being able to drive and think about, do I need to change my tires when I go into the pits? Do I need to change those PSIs? Do I need to adjust my fuel? all on the MFD while you're still driving and not slowing off. There's so many different. It is a big rabbit hole of skills. And
I agree.
And I love it. I love that part of it. But sorry, you were saying
some people, right, go in the rabbit hole, as you say, right, and have dashboards and all kinds of things. And I am very simple. I am more like an e-sport, driver. I don't have anything to help me in that sense. You know what I mean?
You've got a calculator.
Yeah, it's in Windows, and basically I use that. And basically only once or twice have I ever run out, even with long races. And then I look at somebody else's who was streaming, and I go, how did he finish in the same car, but he only put the same amount of petrol as I did? So, it's his driving style. It's something that he was able to do that I couldn't.
Yeah, I think that yes, exactly. And that was the Spa race, I don't know, about a month or so ago when fuel saving really came in to the Warriors races all of a sudden and caught me and caught lots of people out. And that was, again, another great thing that we learn about engine mapping and lift and coast and all that sort of stuff. He's class. Brilliant.
But the Ferrari hasn't got any engine mapping that makes any difference.
Does it not?
It's all on no, it doesn't save any fuel. It's how it delivers the power through the accelerator pedal. That's it. And even that's down. There's no mapping that will make you save fuel at all with the Ferrari.
But it is an economical little motor.
That's what I mean. Yes.
It is economical.
Can't do it. But also, can I add, right, on Nordschleife, as I found out last night, when you press escape to go back to the pits,
yes,
right, I did 6 laps on the same tyres that I'd already destroyed.
Oh, flip, you went twice.
So every time, because you haven't got the option to change them, right, I just had to keep going round. And okay, my pace and my driving is getting worse and worse and worse until I realised.
You can't change the tyre set?
Nope. Not if you press escape.
Oh, if you press escape.
You must have pressed escape
in the race
on Nordschleife.
In the race?
Yeah. Unless you can change. I don't think you can get into there to change them before you press escape.
Okay.
It's something I thought, this is like a handicap, because basically you've already had a handicap because you're going back, and now you've got another handicap because you've got to go out with the same tyres.
Okay. That's if you crash.
Yeah.
And it's hit escape to go back.
Correct.
Okay, because I put you in
like a back first or whatever.
And I put you in the
pit stop. Nordschleife, that is even worse because the length of the track.
If you have that crash, if you have that crash in the first third of the race in your circuit, it's very, very tempting to escape and return to pits and get the tow back again and sit there for 3 minutes, because you'd probably do more damage and wreck somebody else on the way around as well.
If you have the accident, imagine just going on to the Nordschleife from the Grand Prix circuit, the amount to go all the way round is quicker to press escape and go back. But the only trouble is the lap doesn't count. That's the only thing you lose.
So you lose that count completely. What do you think of the Nordschleife? What do you think of it?
After my 2 hours last night, it's a disaster because I was going the wrong way. Now I've reflected on what I did wrong last night, and I let people harass me that shouldn't have, and things like that at the start. You know what I mean? The normal thing. In any league, it's the same as LFM. Everybody's the same, And basically, I should have just said, after you, young sir, keep going.
On you go.
I'll meet you in the barrier.
Yeah, I'll see you. Yeah.
But I didn't. Right, because the people you see, it's like every other Discord or where you race and you race the same people, you get to know what they're like, and basically you're playing on that a little bit, because your friend from today, Monsieur Dutois, right, once at Barcelona, right, this is a few seasons ago, right, I'd out-qualified him, and he disappeared because he used to have a bad internet connection, and basically when he came on the inside of me, along the straight at Barcelona, I just said, after you, because he was laughing with his friends, because I was in the Discord, and I thought, I didn't want to risk, I'm no competition for you, just carry on, and I finished second.
Now, my gut feeling was I was in the right today, so
Don't worry.
Chap Dutois, who won a big championship or one of the.
No, my league.
He won. Okay, he won. Okay, he won your league, and he was in fourth place today. And he was coming up behind me after pitting, and he was coming to overtake me for position. And it was at the very first part of the Noorderslag, the first S bends before you go down onto the first batch of straights. And he was trying to bully his way on through, and.
I'm well used to it.
So I had given him space way out on the left-hand side of these little sweeping bends, but he still pranged me from the rear and then was flashing. He spun right round and he was flashing away at me as if he was, sacre bleu.
I know.
And when I looked at the video afterwards, definitely he pranked me. If it I would have
a young 20-odd-year-old.
Is he? Yeah, that's the way of it. It was today was chaos at the first the starts of the first races, just nutty. But the first race was just an absolute mare because of mistakes that I made. But the second race I had fantastic race. Without, even though I had 30 seconds of damage, I had a great battle with this chap Cooper, Chronix Black, I think you call him. And I had 30 seconds damage, and I was even with the damage, I knew I was 3 or 4 or 5 seconds faster than him, but I just couldn't get around him. He wasn't being dirty with his defending; he was driving really well. We were a foot apart for laps on end, and on the big straight, I just didn't have the juice to get past him. It was brilliant. It was good battling. But then there was the crazy guys at the beginning, and. Again, that's another skill. You have to let people go past, and I'll see you in the barrier. I'll see you in a couple of laps, and I'll see you in. This is what happens. These madmen in their yellow cars. So that's what happens. Bless them, or big pink blancmanges. Okay. Out of your sim racing career. Have you had any big wins, big nights that you're really, really chuffed with, really proud of? Any really good memories? Has sim racing give you things that when you think about it, I remember that night and that was awesome, or that race was awesome?
I've had a few wins. I've had no LFM wins because I got out of rookies quite quickly. I'm now back in them again because my safety rating, because I've only done 32 races in all my LFM career, right? And remember, I was in split world Paul record with you.
It's an acquired taste. It's an acquired taste.
Yeah. No, I just don't find time, and I would like to do the 45-minute races. But, right, I would say the occasional win in split 2, where I race on Tuesday. And then coming second in the race I'm on about at Barcelona, because I was racing really quick guys. Other than that, most fun I have and the most memories are the endurance, 4, 6, and 10 hours with other people. It's the best.
I need to do there. For me, my challenge is when they are. So weekends are tough with me, with young kids. Yes, I can. I'll be able to do we're working on trying to do a monthly one at this moment in time. So that's. Oh,
okay.
Oh, your video just disappeared.
Don't worry.
It was so we're working on doing a monthly endurance now. So whether that's on a Saturday or whatever it's suitable, and once a month I could do, but I couldn't do it every week. There's no way, and I think a lot of the guys have young families as well, and that's a commitment. And a lot of the sim racing guys, even some of the races that Jardy is in, I know his time is. He's a couple of hours ahead anyway. But a lot of that stuff starts at 6:30 and 7 o'clock UK time, which is a very, very difficult time for a lot of people, or people with young families to start. So
even where I race, it starts at, like you say, 6:45 on a Tuesday.
Yeah,
for British, but most of us are European. You see, it's a German league,
and there's a balance to be had with keeping she who must be obeyed happy. And giving them enough time. And there's a balance with it because, it can be an addiction. You get into here and time is gone and you have 5 minutes fiddling with your rig, which turns into an hour. And then you haven't turned a wheel yet. it sucks time, and you have to have a balance of life as well with it.
Well,
sim racing, where do you see this all going? I mean, you're there with your rig and your seat, not the Peugeot, Citroen, of course, so it would have to be Citroen, as French. Well, Peugeot as well, I suppose. Do you see? Would you go VR, or would you?
No, because I wear glasses. I can't see the point, because I don't see many esport, guys using it. I can see it from virtual reality and all that.
Yeah.
But I've never don't really want to get into it. And ACC is dead hard to play with it anyway, because it's a computer eater. It needs powerful things. I'm just dead simple. I just like racing, and if AC2 or AC, whatever it's called,
Evo
is just as good as
new one. Evo,
yeah, it's just as good. Or I haven't tried Le Mans Ultimate. I haven't bought that yet, but I prefer to be good at one game instead of like jack of 55 games.
Me too. I made that call. I mean, I thought a year ago that I was going to do this Rory Alexander thing. Sorry, hard to say the name. That I could bounce between ACC and Forza. Now, I was a massive Forza guy, on Xbox and all the way through before I got into this. You have to go PC.
I've never played it in my life, so I
wouldn't even
know
I have to go PC.
Like.
It's very like Gran Turismo. It's sim arcade. Looks pretty.
Okay.
Doesn't really drive.
I like the Grand Prix games.
Jeff,
like EA Sports ones. I mean.
Yeah, no. See, even those. I mean, my son plays the Formula One stuff, and I think that they're toys. To me, there's no simulation much in those. And I thought I could bounce between the ACC a couple of days or a couple of evenings at that time because I wasn't retired, and then do the new Forza which came out. Yeah. But I couldn't go to Forza now. It would annoy me. And I know I would gain so many more followers and all that YouTube stuff if I did the Gran Turismo or Forza. But I'm not here for that. I'm here for the racing. And, I love the adrenaline buzz, the moments like we took Nordschleife again, when you get a series of corners right and it just feels good. That's that buzz, and maybe you get it there as well. But I don't think I could go back to that. I give it Forza, somewhere like Forza Horizon, which is a bit of a laugh and a giggle. But no, as far as real sim racing concerned, I love this. I love the GT3. GT4s have been surprising to me. We done that Sunday night. We done some more GT4 racing. That's great. It really is good fun.
Well, I did. How many? 50 minutes on Nordschleife in a GT4 on Sunday night. Because instead of having practice races for GT3s, they now do a GT4 series. So we would do the same sort of like circuit that we're doing on the Tuesday night, on the Sunday night, but in GT4s, which doesn't get many people, but they are a great laugh.
Yeah. It's just quick.
They are really...
Yeah, it was, Dara and Steve bullied me one day last week to take the Giannetta or take a GT4 out onto the Nordschleife for one of my races. And I was brilliant. It was great fun. So yeah, again, the problem is everybody wants GT3s. Even today, in that there was a big LFM races, there was a couple of GT2s and a couple of GT4s. It's already dead. It's at that part. It's gone. It's not going to have that following. It will only be in local leagues like our own that you could ever get that.
Even then, no GT3s. Last season, we did GT2s, GT3s, which is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Because they slow down that much for the corner, and then GT3s trying to overtake them on the corner, vortex and all that. And basically then they go bye-bye down the straights, and you go, this is really complicated. It's really, you can do a faster lap time. At Hungaroring, no GT3 was anywhere near no GT2 was anywhere near a GT3. The corners, there's no way.
Yeah, I think it will be a fun thing. I mean, if it gathers any sort of pace, we'll do it. But it's a fun thing on a Sunday night. We'll definitely do some of that stuff. That's brilliant. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Is there anything that I should be asking you? Is there anything that you want to ask me, Mark, or is there anything, because I mean, really, it's, have I covered all the bases? You're Mr. Gardner, you're in France, you're a bloody good sim racer, you're 61 still, and you will be for many, 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 many more hours. So it's really cool. I love having you part of the community. It adds to all the flavour of it all. I know we'll joke about you. He's one of the oldest racers we have, but you're only friggin' 6 years older than me, so there's no,
but I know I'm one of the oldest, unless people don't tell you how old they are.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I think it's cool.
I've only seen one guy, and he raced, and he's quite high up even on LFM, called Rainer Schull, and I think he's 2 years older than me.
And he's still racing well.
Yeah, he used to be the nightmare of that man who should not be mentioned, Rory Alexander, in the mornings and dinner time.
Yeah.
Oh, Schull.
Yeah, well, Rory did very well today. He was in my split, and again, Rory is one of those guys that either is
good or
not.
Abysmal.
Yeah,
or has been, or I saw on North Life he is quite quick.
Yeah. He was doing 8.18s today in quali. I'm chuffed at only 8.24. That was I'm very pleased with that.
The German guy who did the pre-quali for my race last night, the 2 hour, because it was for the last weekend, he did a 2:11 point something. And
11, flipping heck.
And my endurance partner for the last race that we did on there, he did a 2:13 something.
Fabulous.
Because he's driven around the track, you know what I mean?
And I think Steve Tadman, I think today was a 8.14s. I think he did today. But again, fabulous, but consistency.
Fantastic.
Consistency.
Can you do that lap after
And that's one of the things you've always said, Mark. Can you do that? You'd always have a giggle. You'd always have, because
No.
It's true.
Because I see lots of lap times, like the last race we did, right? My lap time, with no practice, I did 2 laps before the last Bongo event. Well, that was possible, and just winged it on, and my tyres were at 32 at Suzuka, and where that time came from, that God only knows, and basically, I just wung it. And that's it. Because I just used the dry setup that, I acquire. That's it.
You acquire.
Make it fair.
Sounds dodgy.
Pardon?
That sounds dodgy.
No, it comes from YouTube. Anybody can download these setups. No, basically, no, because I'd learned off these other guys who are esport, esport level sort of people, and they go, no, you just use the dry setup and tinker with it a little bit. That's it. You don't have to have a wet setup. It's
funny. Do you watch back your races at all? Do you ever watch back, and other people, their replays and how they do?
Yeah.
That's how you learn.
Like quicker guys.
Yeah.
Like I say, the guy who won the race, who was doing 2:11s, I've watched him loads of times, and even Laurent, he goes, he's seen his lines and go, yeah, he's a bit strange, aren't they?
Oh, all right, okay, suspicion.
No, he is quick, and he's a big guy. He's young as well, because I've seen him in the video, and he is, a big guy. You know what I mean? Most sim racers seem to be quite big.
Yeah.
There's some skinny ones.
I don't understand. I mean, seriously, I was talking to somebody else. So first of all, my biceps are tight again today because you're working hard at that wheel all day. But the amount of your heart is beating so much, you're doing whatever it was 50 kg break or more, and you're constantly going. You get a hell of a workout. So I don't understand why these guys get so big. Even though you're not moving lots, you're having a workout in your seat when you're doing it for 6 hours. It's just maybe bad diet afterwards or something. I came off tonight and I came in, I got myself a sandwich because I was hungry because I don't really eat a lot. I mean, I have a granola bar and some nuts or a banana, stuff like that there. And when I had a shower, and then I'm mentally drained and physically drained for an hour until I get pepped up again, like now, and I'm ready to go again. So it's hard when you're doing those endurance stuff. It is hard stuff.
I've never tried to do like you're doing. I just do my, say, 10-hour endurance. That was on a Saturday afternoon, and you finish like towards midnight.
Yeah.
But basically, you've got 3 people, so you're only doing like 3, and 4. And basically you got somebody to talk to, or they go off, they have something to eat, they come back and hope there's not a disaster, or disconnection and things like that, because obviously it's the internet and basically,
yeah, the internet.
I don't worry. Yeah, the internet.
Mark, it is lovely having you around. I love it. Yeah, your racing is tight. You don't take any prisoners, and you're very very competitive, and it's great to have you around. I really thank you for having this chat with me tonight. So
it's okay,
good lad, and I will see you on track hopefully tomorrow evenings for some more Nordisch.
Yeah. I could tell you a story before I go. My dad, his friend, was third in the sidecar TTT, the Isle of Man in the 60s.
Madman.
Because I saw one of his sidecars afterwards, and also his champion motocross on Hawkston Park.
Wow.
This guy, my dad's mates.
And was he the driver, or was he the passenger on the sidecar?
He was the driver, and because also when I was younger, I used to go in the shop of Cliff Holland, who was the passenger for George Odell.
Flipping those guys. So yeah, I've been to the TT a lot. I mean, that would have been my summer holidays as a kid, because mum and dad, when I think I have it in here. There's my father's glass trophy for the.
Tell you right, the name of this man, right? If you want to look it up, because it's in the 60s, his name was John Brandon.
John Brandon. So yeah, I think I've got my father's trophy here from the Isle of Man government, the Manx government, and giving him the freedom of Douglas.
Wow!
Because my mum and dad were married well over 50 years, and they went there for their honeymoon, and they went to the TT races every single year, and they were recognised.
I only went twice when I was younger, but not to see the TT races, just from Liverpool on the the ships at the time, the 6 ships. They
were unbelievable.
And went in the school to Maldives twice to the Isle of Man.
I went with the Boys Brigade, and I went with the Boys Brigade on the steam packet ships. They were awful.
What's that?
Steam, the Lady of Man, the Manx Man. They were awful, and they took. I mean, for such a short crossing, it took from Northern Ireland. It took about 6 or 7 hours.
Even from Liverpool,
it was awful. It was awful. And then you went and went up and down Douglas, and went to the Laxey Wheel, and you went under the wee tram up to the top of Snaefell. And brilliant. I love that. I haven't been back. Right. Here, buddy. Thanks very much. I'll see you tomorrow night. Great to chat with you, Mark. Lovely to chat to you in person. Really is. It's good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Robin.
See you. Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Then he waddled away.